Have you ever felt like everything just fell apart and you didn't know how to move forward? Well, in this video, we're going to be going over 6 Bible verses for healing for those going through a tough season in life. So let's go over verse number 1. Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Now, I'm sure all of you have gone through difficult times. Probably some of you are going through difficult times right now as we speak, which is why you're clicking on this video. Now, all of us in life go through difficult times. That's just life in general. It's difficult. It's full of surprises, and unfortunately, lots of them are not fun. And lots of these surprises in life, you think that you can't get out of it. You don't know where to go. You might lose a job. You might have relationship issues. You might lose a family member, a mom, a dad, brother, sister, lots of other things that could happen as well. The main thing to take away from these verses is that God sees your pain, and He's there with you while you go through it. God is the healer of broken hearts, and He cares about your wounds, even the invisible ones. Lots of us like to put on happy faces when we go out, hey, how are you doing? I'm great, how are you doing? But inside you're broken. You're going through a rough time, and God can see that. And, we're going to be talking a little bit later about what you should do if that's the case. But always remember that in your lowest moments in life, God is always there by your side. And He offers comfort and He offers rescue for those who seek it. In the previous video that I uploaded, I talked about a difficult time that I went through during the pandemic, financial difficulties, believing lies that I was unsuccessful, I should say. Whatever I thought success was, if I tried to pursue it, it just ran from me. And it was disappointing. And again, that's just my story. I'm sure many other people who are watching this are going through even worse difficult times. But in that situation in my life, I hated life. Hated life with a passion. Didn't want to be here. Like, for what reason? If all I do is just, was I just born to be unsuccessful in life? No, but again, those were lies that I thought. And thankfully, God, through the difficult time that I went through, showed me that that's not the case. He has a purpose for my life. And, I'm still figuring that out. That's life in general, life 101. God saved me from lots of things, and I'm sure He can save you from lots of things as well. Just open your heart to Him and just tell Him what's going on, talk with Him. So my advice to anyone who is going through a difficult time, just put everything in God's hands. And that can be difficult because sometimes, in life, you think you can do it by yourself. You don't want to humble yourself at God's feet type of thing. You're angry at God. There could be a whole bunch of reasons, but just put everything in God's hands if you're going through a difficult time and you feel like there really isn't any escape to what situation you're going through. Which brings us to our second point. But first, I'm going to get a sip of coffee. God gives you strength. One thing that we need to do and understand is that pain doesn't always disappear, but God equips us to endure it. Isaiah 41:10, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. 2 Corinthians 4:8-9. We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Struck down, but not destroyed. The key thing to take away from this part is that you're not alone and you're not powerless. God gives you strength through these difficult times that you're going through, and He offers that strength in struggle. Costa Rican coffee, baby. Costa Rican coffee. God's presence means that you don't have to be afraid. He promises to strengthen and uphold you. And one of the key takeaways from 2 Corinthians is that life pressures are real. Life is difficult. Life is full of bumps in the roads, It's not a walk in a park. Life isn't a Disney movie. I think many people fall into that fairy tale ending, and I know I'm probably gonna get hate, oh, life is beautiful. It is beautiful. It is what you make it. But again, many people go through trying times, very, very difficult times. It's not all easy. Lots of times these people, they have amazing stories about perseverance and not giving up. But lots of those trying periods can definitely transform a person and make them stronger. I hope that whatever situation that you're going through right now, I hope that you'll be able to learn something from that, apply it to your life, and be able to, down the road, maybe help someone who's going through the same thing. Help someone who's maybe thinking at the same moment, like, oh, there's no escape. What am I going to do? No one understands me. That's probably like the biggest lie that I think all of us believe. There's many people who believe this stuff, and they're the people who are on the front pages of the newspaper sometimes, There could be lots of negativity, lots of negative things that could happen for people who believe that there's, no hope. That's why, people end up doing things they shouldn't do and might be in an eternity in a place where there is no hope, completely no hope. So, life pressures are real, but they don't define or destroy you with God on your side. So I think, for someone that's going through a difficult time, I think a good thing to do is to talk to people, talk to friends, talk to people at church, talk to anyone. I think the worst thing to do through all of this is to keep it in your head, to keep it locked up and boiled up inside. That's just not really a productive way, in my opinion, with dealing with, lots of these things where you believe that maybe no one understands you, there's no hope type of thing. But just remember there always is. And lots of times talking to someone can just, really help you. Journaling is another thing that I can recommend as well. I have a downloadable PDF that's completely for free, 7-day journal. If you want, you can check that out in the description below. It's called When Life Doesn't Go As Planned. It's full of Bible verses that will, make you think, reflect on what the scripture says about difficult times, and, hopefully you can take away something from that. Okay, so I want to ask you a question. When have you faced something that felt impossible? And how did you find strength to keep going? All of us have different methods. All of us are different when it comes to finding strength, going through difficult times. So I'm curious, share with us in the comments. What would be your response to those questions? So we've talked about that God sees your pain. He gives you strength. And number 3 is God offers you rest. So after the struggle, God invites us to experience rest and healing. Matthew 11:28, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Jeremiah 17:14, heal me, Lord, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved. For you are the one I praise. You don't have to carry the burden all by yourself. It's right there in scripture. You don't have to. God's there. His hand is literally extended. He's like literally reaching out to you and saying, hey, dude, I'm here. What's up? Life is hard right now? Hey, take my hand. Let's go through it together. You don't have to carry your burdens alone because God offers peace and restoration. And I know that through lots of times when you're going through these trials and tribulations, it can take a toll on you mentally. It can take a toll on you physically. For many people, that's when they're most vulnerable, going through these hard times. That's why many people through lots of these hard times, they go to things that really aren't going to give them any hope. Oh, I'm going through a hard time. Oh, I'm going to do some drugs. I'm going through a hard time. Yeah, I'm going to take some whiskey. I'm going to, drink a 6-pack type of thing. It's like those are things that they're not going to get you anywhere. For those of you who are going through a difficult time, God offers peace, restoration. He offers comfort, and his hand's extended, and he's extending it to you. When I was going through my difficult time through the pandemic for probably, I would say 7-8 months, probably 7 months. Yeah, I carried it by myself. I thought I could do it, and I thought I would have a great financial life afterwards type of thing, and that really wasn't the case. I think that sometimes in our lives when things are great, when we experience success, when our relationships are perfect, when our jobs are going really well, when we have a lot of money saved, when everything's just perfect, we kind of get into that mentality where it's like, I'm good. I don't need you, type of thing. I'm guilty of doing that. During the pandemic, I was just like, it's me. I can do it. And I got humbled, freaking fast, to the point where after months of drowning pretty much financially, not experiencing success, going through difficult times, I got humbled, and I'm glad I did, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't really be where I am today. So I think through going through that situation, I learned a lot. And, a key takeaway from that is, while you're having success in life, or even while you're not, always keep your relationship with Jesus. Always. And just remember that his hand is always extended when you're going through a difficult time. And it's always extended when you're not going through a difficult time too. Always remember that. And God offers strength and he offers healing for those who are going through difficult times. And remember, Jesus welcomes the weary and burdened, promising true rest. And healing is possible. And God responds when we cry out for help. Always remember that. You're never alone in this life, and God's always there by your side. So remember, sharing your story with someone who's going through a similar situation could definitely be uplifting, could definitely give that individual hope, because maybe they can't see it. They can't see the light at the end of the tunnel type of thing. So maybe with your story, once things are hopefully a little bit better, you can make a positive impact in the community or family by sharing your testimony and by just telling them what God did in your life and how you got out of the rut, or whatever you're going through, and, hopefully give them advice about that. So remember, God sees your pain. He knows what you're going through. He offers you strength, and through him, you will get peace, comfort, and restoration. This has been Coffee with Dave. I hope you've enjoyed this. Until next time.